you have food in store, there will be much of this country that will still be hungry trying to get food. And at that point, they're going to look to see who has been successful, who has food, and we will be the examples to the nation, showing them how to solve the food problem, so that by 2009, maybe food sufficiency, food security will finally be a reality in the whole country.
Thank you, Mr. Magona. Paramount Chiefs, honorable ministers, honorable members of Parliament, greet you in the name of Elohim, the name by which God first identified himself to humanity in the ancient Hebrew Chaldean language. I am a son of Africa. I was separated from this country in 1725 in the loins of my 7th great-grandfather, who at 14 years old, the son of a chief, was captured and sold into slavery. He went on a British ship to the Bahamas, and he saw what he thought was slavery, but it was indentured servitude. So he stowed away on the ship and ended up in America, where he became a slave for real. Although that was a tragedy, it was a blessing. This country suffered brutal civil war. You know that more than I do, because I read the papers. I mourned for 11 years at what I was reading. And when the opportunity came, I had to come to see what I could do. Well, fortunately, we have a belief that if it had caught on years ago, Civil War would not have happened. And that is the reality, that God has made of one blood all nations of men to dwell on the earth. So our mission is first to communicate that message, and secondly to demonstrate the application. So where do you start? You have to start like farming, in the dirt, at the bottom, the grassroots. Because when your people lose sight and contact with the earth, with agriculture, the system will eventually collapse. Because when we begin to implement these things, other people are going to look. If we start in the South, then there are other communities, other chiefdoms that say, hey, we want to be mixed. And when it's throughout the country, then countries in the region are going to say, hey, we want to be mixed. And when it goes to sharing it outside, where's the technology? It's in our brothers and sisters of Salome. They're the ones who become the teachers to carry it in the region. They become the experts to demonstrate and teach the people at the World Bank, the people at the United Nations. You know, little things have been done in this country, positive things, that have gotten international attention. This room is our Infotech, our Computer Training and Development Center. It's not the biggest, but you know something? The men and women who teach on our staff are as good as any in the world.
First of all, welcome Dr. Jackson to Sierra Leone. The presence of all of these members of Parliament, Dr. Jackson, is a clear indication of the kind of support that you're going to receive from us in Sierra Leone. This is a government. Something happened just about a week ago. From today, you have been appointed ambassador for Sierra Leone for dissemination of good news for Sierra Leone.
Executive Chairman of 1BLOOD on behalf of our nation as a whole and on behalf of our President and the nation as a whole, I launch your program and I call to enter this particular building and whatever that enters here to become prosperous and successful.
It is truly a blessing to be here today and to share this day and this time with you. I have really boasted very much about this program in this area. I'm really proud of the work that you have done. When they sent the photos to me in America, sent the videotapes to me in America, I looked at them, I enjoyed them, but you know, I have to see with my own eye. Because in business, they say first, never assume, and secondly, expect what you inspect. So if I know I come and I see the rice growing, then I know I can really realistically expect harvest. Now, most of the building and development that has been done in the whole world, and most of the cultivation was done without machines. It was manual labor. And we have that. It was done with land. We have land. We've been blessed with rich soil. There's nothing to stop us from developing except us applying ourselves and the resources that's needed first to get food, because once we have sufficient food, we can develop everything. We can take care of medicine. In fact, if we have enough food, sickness will go. So the solution begins with food. We have to get food growing, and the president had the right idea. But we have a system to make it come true, and you're proving that. We have to convert, especially perennial swamps. We've got to turn all of them into rice production. Rice is a staple. And this chiefdom alone could produce enough rice to feed the country. If we converted all the swamps in this chiefdom, we could feed Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone could feed the whole western region if we got rice production up. Just rice production alone. So we don't concentrate on a lot of handouts, a lot of different places, because we've got to get seed in the ground. We've got to cultivate resources so we have tools to work. We supply food for work, because after a couple cycles, we'll be feeding ourselves. We'll be eating our own food in our Food for Work program. And we'll be planting our own seed next year, the next time around. So we're going to work and develop this program so that the government is strong, because we are the government. The government is the people. The government can only be as strong as you are. You know, a lot of times people say, I'm poor, I'm poor, I'm poor. Well, guess what? The whole government is poor. The government is importing, or most of the government's resources come from donors. Well, if we get food production up, the government won't have to beg for food. If we get food production up, we can trade and get money to get the other things that we need. It takes growing food, and the backbone of this country is the farmers.